thought it was a great balanced game for us. 8 guys with 7 or more. Everybody that played, all 9 guys got multiple defensive rebounds, and I think it was 7 guys with 2 or more assists. Just great balance across the board. Everybody gave contributions. I thought Tyrell's the stretch of Mike Bell getting the deflection out of bounds. We didn't get the ball, but we deflected out of bounds. And then Tyrell tipping the ball out on the free throw and in the pressure, really kind of got us going again in the second half with some huge plays. Again, we talk a lot about winning plays, and there were plenty to go around.
They're a tall team. They got a lot of size.
First question.
Anyone else? Take this off. They got a lot
Go
of.
ask Nick. Go ask Nick.
They got a lot of size in the front court, man. 43-36 rebounding edge, 32-20 in the paint. How did you guys dominate this game inside?
Well, we wanted to get on the offensive glass on Dan. They went and transitioned in the second half because they were down the earlier second half, but we knew we could attack the rim, attack the glass, and we did that early part of the first half. It dipped like later in the first half, mid first half, and then we got it going again a little bit in the second half. And then they're a very good offensive rebounding team, one of the best in the league, but their bigs kind of sit and wait for the ball. They're not above the rim, so we talk about using our athleticism in those moments. Like, we got to go get them. Like, we're not waiting for them. And the one, I think it was Brandon, maybe Terrence, but I think it was Brandon, second half, like on the bench side, like he just went over top of Schultz and got it. And that's what you have to do. And we did that for the most part, keeping them off the glass and coming up with those plays. And then the ones that get knocked out, being there to pick those up, and then we can go.
What was the message to the team when Fordham cut it within 2?
Where's your crew over there yet? It's not Valentine's Day. What are they celebrating today? Oh, there you go.
I don't answer for them. I answer for me, not them.
All right. Sorry.
What was the message to the team when they cut it within 2? How'd they respond to the adversity?
They were good. I mean, again, we've been in those positions, so it's just about staying focused on the things. I mean, some of those in that run, like Henry makes 2 threes, he's shooting 19% from 3. Like, it happens. Like, we let Jacobs get open a couple times. Like, those we can't give up. But sometimes it's that, right? Sometimes you're giving up the shot you want to give up, and they make it, but you trust the numbers and go, right, they're 4 for 5 from 3, team that doesn't shoot it great, and then they finish the rest of the half 2 for 10. It's just about making sure that we're making them take the right ones, and making the right guys have to take those types of shots, and not giving up the rhythm ones, easy ones, to the guys that really want to score.
Coach, in comparison to like a slow start, but then the second half kind of slow start, they cut it 2 within 2, and it was like a 15-2 run. What was the difference in adjustments from slow start to the first half and the slow start to the second?
Well, honestly, the slow start in the first half, like, we got great shots. I was good with that. Some of it I expected. I was like, with the time off, we've had that before. Like, I kind of expected like some of those shots. But I was good. I kept saying to the bench, like, we're getting great shots. Like, as long as we keep getting these shots, like, we're fine. And we were guarding, so again, some of it's that. I thought this a little bit in the second half too. Like, we got a little stagnant. We held the ball. We turned it over 2 or 3 times in that stretch, which we can't do, and we didn't do for most of the game. So that was really, really the key. And making sure we're getting shots. Against a team that wants to slow it down and play a certain pace, we got to get shots. So we can't have those turnovers. And then they were going out in transition all of a sudden, and they get a 3, and we're late on another one. And like I said, a guy you're not really expecting to shoot it, shoots it, makes one. It's going to happen. It's a game of runs, and we've been pretty good with our runs. We just have to continue to eliminate those other runs for the other team.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. You held forward with 32% shooting. Just talk about your thoughts on your team's defensive efficiency.
Yeah, I thought it was, they did a really good job following the game plan. We didn't want to let Reeves get off and hurt us. He ended up getting 22, but a bunch of those were transition. Like in the half court, what he usually does is, it's back to him. They run an action, get back to him, and then let him go. And I told him, like, as long as we weren't giving him layups, if he was going to make some of those tough jumpers, can live with that. But him off ball screens and things like that, like, we did a really good job. Lazar, Mike Bell, were really good with staying with him and trapping him to kind of get it out of his hands. And the guys behind did a really good job. You know, again, just making them take tough shots. And, you know, again, there's stretches where they make some shots, but then you go, okay, well now it settles back in and goes back to, you know, regresses to the mean, right? And now it goes back to like, they're gonna go 4 for 5, then you're gonna trust they're probably gonna go 2 for 10, and they did.
How have you seen Nick's confidence improve throughout the season with the 3 threes early? He's a big part of this game.
Oh yeah, I mean he's been great. Like, you know, we ended up resting him at the game up there. You know, he was a little banged up. You know, and he was eligible to play, but it's like, all right, he's a little banged up. If we can hold him, we'll hold him. And that was key because it got his legs back, and you know, he's learning, right? He's learning what it takes to play at this level and play as much as he's playing. And early on in conference play, he started to wear down because he works so damn hard every day. He doesn't stop. Like, I get the report from, they wear these chips on their hip at practice, and I don't really know what it all means. I just know when I get the report, I see Nick, like, his load at the top every time. On top of, like, he's coming in and making 500 shots and doing all these things. So he's learning. Like, you can't always do all that, right? Like, sometimes less is more, and you know, he does a great job of taking care of himself. He's just a serious dude. He's a super competitor, and you know, really glad we have him.
Coach, you mentioned in the beginning it was a really balanced game from y'all. How can that be a benefit, you know, going into the A10 and hopefully even further when you have some really great scores, but you don't need to have one player score 22 points in the game to win?
Well, I told him before, like, if you look at your calendar, what's the date say?
28.
You're wrong. It's March 0. Right? We're in March now. Like, this time of year, we're in March. So, and in March, you need everybody, and you need whatever contribution that anybody can give you. It might be 30 seconds, one possession. Like, you got to give us everything you can in that. And as I've said it all year, like, we have enough weapons, right? We got weapons up and down. Like, you know, you look out there and it's like, all right, that guy can hit you from there, that guy can hurt you from there, this guy can get you there. So we want to play off of that and use that as a strength, right? And again, with the 19 assists today, like, you see that. It's like, all right, like, yeah, they're going to try and take this away. Okay, get to the next one. All right, they're going to try and key on this guy, get to the next one. You know, and that's huge this time of year because it's, you know, we're not quite there, but it's coming up to win or go home. And when it's win or go home, you need everything from everybody. And, you know, it doesn't always have to be pretty. You just got to get the job done. And, you know, having that many weapons and can't key on, okay, just take away these 2 guys is really important, especially when the quick turnarounds, quick preps come up, where it's like, all right, the game plan is going to be simple for the other team, right, trying to take us away. So whatever they're trying to take away, we have an answer.
Coach, obviously, first year here at the program, but this homecoming game today, like, does homecoming mean anything to you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the pride that this university has, that this fan base has, this alumni, you know, that they have. I was over at the, it was the pep rally something the other day, Thursday, you know, and the excitement in there, it was great. You know, it was really, really fun. And, you know, obviously I don't get to partake in the block party before the game and all those things, but yeah, it's important, right? Like, we work every day and have worked every day that this group's been together to make this fan base, this alumni base, student population, this whole community. We work every day to make them proud. So chances to have, you know, maybe there's some people that haven't been to a game and you have a chance to be in here and see that today and be part of that and feel connected to that. It's really important to us.
What did you like about their response this week, specific to the emotions of how the St. Louis game ended? Did you guys have conversations specific to just refocusing after that?
Yeah, it was just, you know, we were off Saturday, Sunday. We needed that. 4 and 10 days was a tough stretch. And then and that was coming off of 3 and 7 days, like, not long before that. So we took off Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, we focused just on us. We wrapped up St. Louis, focused on us. A couple little things kind of tightened up, and then off Wednesday, and then our normal prep Thursday, Friday. And when I was walking off the court on Thursday, Roos, our strength coach, Daniel Roos, grabbed me, and he had this look on his face, and he said to me, he's like, and he's been around a long time, seen a lot of practices. He said, that's the most competitive February 26th, it's still February, It was the most competitive February 26th practice I've ever seen. And I laughed, I said, Bruce, I was thinking the same thing the whole time, to the point where I was like looking at it going, all right, I want to cut back a little bit here. But then they were like, hey, look, can we go on another trip? Can we go on another possession? Can we, you know, they're talking to each other and they're yapping in a good way, you know, and like really competing. That's not normal. It's not. So, you know, for them to show up like that and then have another day yesterday and here that was very similar, that's what I told them before. It's like, don't show up and compete like that Thursday, Friday, and not bring it on Saturday. And they did. And that's who they've been. They respond to everything. They're pretty resilient, and you know, we got to keep going. Thank you.
Anything else, Coach?
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, Phil.
Appreciate you, Coach.